John here, Auckland, New Zealand. It's Wednesday, the 8th of January 2014, and I just want you to hear a conversation I had with a Senior Detective Sergeant Aaron Pascoe here in Auckland Central Police Station. I called him up because we're going into 61 Cook Street to seize the property. Okay, so we're playing by the rules, and now you'll hear what he has to say about me going on the property, you see. So he's actually entered into the contract with me now, between me and the fraudster on that block of land, selling it with a bad title. So this is very serious. It's because the usual person that's on a holiday till the 20th of January, Tony Geldenhuis, is away, and so he's the most senior guy here, Pascoe, and Bridget Dowell, Senior Detective Sergeant Bridget Dowell. Both those detectives are on board now at Auckland Central. They are fraud squad for cases like this. The difference between them and me is that I'm a private prosecutor for the public outside that court system, and he's told me not to go on the section. Okay, I'm just telling you in the public here, witnessing, that he's prevented me from going about my business because they have not responded. The police commissioner has not responded. Peter Marshall, the area district commander, Mike Clement in Auckland, has failed to respond to our commercial liens. Okay, and so Jack Steer, Rear Admiral Jack Steer from the Navy of New Zealand. This is the New Zealand Crown I'm talking about, New South Wales government. I'm here representing the Moai Crown Confederation, the original landlords of this country, and the British government. Those are our partners in business under the Great Seal of the King of England, King William IV, Rear Admiral of the Navy Fleet, right, the Royal British Navy. So I'm using his King's seal, and our King's Commerce Admiralty law, court martial, that's me, okay, to adjudicate our own cases. And in law, under the 1846 British Constitution, for us, the natives of this country, it states clearly there that there's supposed to be one native assessor on the other side of their judges here in the courts, every court in New Zealand. Okay, that's the role I'm playing here, as inside that court, because Aaron Pascoe, Detective Sergeant Aaron Pascoe, told me to take the case to their court. You see, so really he's saying, come into our clubhouse and lose. You see, I'm saying no, I won't have a bar of it. I told him we've got our court case, our Moai Crown Admiralty Court Martial court case on Facebook, you see, in public. And we have over 1 billion witnesses. That's what I told him. And you can't believe that, you see. I won't go into their court jurisdiction. I'll go in our own court jurisdiction, because it's higher than theirs, with a seal. They have no original seal of the Admiral mortgages on land blocks. So in law, mortgages come second behind land owners, original native. That's us. The Confederation is the landowner of this country, that I'm going under that title on behalf of the chiefs, the Hapu, not the iwi or Maori because those names belong to the Crown of New Zealand. And New Zealand, New South Wales colonial government is what's running in Wellington now. Ours is the British Crown, not the Queen. She's with those rogues in Wellington, and the police are assisting this fraud case if they don't assist us to arrest the fraudster I'm after. You see, the difference is the prosecutor gets the money for the Crown, and the unidentified creditor inside these courts in New Zealand. You see, I'm getting the money from the fraudster to give back to the people on behalf of the Moai Crown. 2 crowns, 3 crowns running here. You've got the New Zealand Crown, you've got the British Crown, and you've got a Moai Crown. Now, the authenticity of those 3 crowns is a big difference. And so the police are there to enforce any law that has jurisdiction. I'm just telling them, enforce this law, because no one refuted the affidavits of the statements and the people are accusing with their photos in a doc of the Moai Admiralty Court on Facebook. Those are statements and affidavits admissible in court of law in Britain, and certainly looks like it's here too. Okay? So we have legal documents, and I'm afraid to say that Aaron Pascoe has got himself caught up inside this contract. It's a contract. When you play around with lien contracts, you're in trouble, because it's private. It's nothing to do with him. It's nothing to do with anybody, and if he interferes, then he's in trouble. They'll give him 72 hours to refute the title I'm holding over that land block. And if he can't, then he loses. He'll be indicted and stripped of his title and more than likely be deported out of this country under the Moai Crown Confederation state government jurisdiction. Okay? It's very serious stuff. If you don't know, don't interfere with the Moai Crown, especially a Moai prosecutor under the King's Commerce, the King's Bench jurisdiction. Okay, so I'm talking here from Britain, the British government and the British Navy are our legal, commercial, trading, bank partners. Okay, that's a solid contract that can't be changed. We've got a flag to prove it, a Confederation flag from King William, and a seal to seal and authenticate. All those documents you see on Facebook have got the seals of the King and his flag, sovereign of Britain, Navy, right? And our own Confederation bank trading flag jurisdiction. You see, powerful instruments that the police are ignorant to it. They know how to arrest people, but they certainly don't know the law when it comes to this. He says go to their court. They can't adjudicate a court case like this because they have no jurisdiction over this jurisdiction, right? And that's where the judges are fraud, corrupted. I'm accusing them. I'm accusing everybody on Facebook because they've got the power to do it with British military to assist us. If the police don't assist us, then they are assisting the fraud person and persons themselves. Okay, so the people are watching this case unfold, and they can't get out of it. Once they're stuck with me, they can't get out of it. Okay, telling you that very much to warn them not to get involved in these commercial contract and the Admiralty court martial. That's who I am, the court martial with the British. Complaint. There's a complaint gone to the British High Court of Admiralty, Judge Mackey. He's got the documents there, the commercial lien documents that we're serving on these land blocks, on everybody. Pope Francis made a statement in his Courier, Canon's Law, this is a statement that anyone, politicians, police, judges, ministers, citizens, public servants, lawyers, anyone who commits fraud and corruption, crimes, faces prosecution. Right? We've cited that. We've cited that as being private prosecutor to prosecute anyone on these lands. These are our lands. These are our indigenous Moai lands. Belongs to Moai people, the natives, the Tahitian natives that got here. So we got all those titles on Facebook. So for a policeman to say don't go on there, he's making his own law up himself. Okay? Because the other superiors of him wouldn't get involved. You see? They just shut their mouth and be silent. When you shut your mouth and be silent, you're an admission of guilt. He didn't shut his mouth when I said to him, I'm going on the land to take it, to seize it. You see? So I'm waiting for Lynn's Land Register General to transfer those titles over to Moai Crown from James Brown and Simon Roundtree, the new owners of the property with the bad title. Okay? They failed to put our name on it, which we have a right to register our interest on that land. It's a leased land that's been sold as a freehold land. You see, they make money out of mortgages. That's what Admiralty law is. Admiralty law is mortgages. When an original landowner who has a title stronger than a title of conveyance, that's all they are, they're only paper titles, it supersedes the paper mortgage title. We can wipe it out, and that's what I'm doing here. Okay? He's stopping me from doing it with his own authority. Not any other police, not his superior, Peter Marshall, right? He's leaving the force, he's running off, right? He's not saying anything till he goes. Well, he's trapped in it now. He's trapped in it. And Mike Clements, the senior commander here in Auckland, he's shutting his mouth. Best thing he could have done was shut his mouth and say nothing, plead ignorance. But he's still caught, you see? And now this guy's opened his mouth up. That's the worst thing he ever did, is bite back at me, all right, and answer me with something that he's saying is stronger than what I have. That's the mistake. He's just fallen into a trap that this was designed to bring in anyone interfering with this British law and Moai Confederation law. We've been quiet all these years, and our Confederation is powerful. We have the power to take this country back, and that's what we're doing. We're going to the UN. We're going to get the seat that this government has been trying to get. We're going to Westminster Parliament. I walk in there myself with these titles. They know they're expecting me to walk into Westminster and put these flags and everything, and the seals and everything, into the upper house for King William IV. Okay? That's what he's waiting for. He's waiting for me to go there to finish it off. Okay? And then we go to the World Court, take all these people we accused, and we're going to sting them and lock them up. They deserve locking up for anybody who's been silent and been causing fraud in this country and taking everything off the public for their own companies, their corporations. Okay, so I want you to listen to this now, this recording, and see if he can do anything about me recording him. Eh? I have authority to do this on our own behalf. This is not his country. Okay, he can say as much as he likes, but the British have the last say. Okay, the British have the last say. They're our partners. Okay, here we go.
Yes, look, could I speak to Detective Sergeant Aaron Pascoe, please? Pascoe? Pascoe, yes.
Here we go. Listen, people.
Hello? Yes, hi. Hello. Am I speaking to Aaron? Yes, you are. Yes, my name is John Wanoa, here on the waterfront. John Wanoa? Hello, yes. John. Hi. Look, I've got a fraud case I would like you to look over, because Tony Geldenhuis was looking after everything, but he's away till the 20th. and I was wanting to make an appointment with you to come down and look over it for me.
When you say Tony Geldenhoff was dealing with it, what was he doing with it?
He was just because I couldn't get to what's his name, Clement, because it's a higher thing case.
Sorry, get to who, sorry?
To what's his name, Clement, the district commander. He's got all the documents, but I needed to speak to you, Andrew Saunders. I spoke to on Friday, and he said that you're the best guy to speak to, detective. I mean, to speak to for this case.
When you say Clement has all the paperwork, what do you mean? Have you emailed him all the paperwork?
Yeah, that was a bit of time ago, and the police commissioner, he got the copies too. This is for a property on Cook Street. It's a major matter that I've been on for since 2009. A fraud land transaction that's very much well in the public view now. I'm a private prosecutor doing the case, so it's very extensive, but I wanted to explain to you why I'm taking the property over. And if the people get involved, it's a commercial lien contract. It's in the High Court of Admiralty in London. It's sitting there with a judge in there, and so everything's in order as far as the land titles are concerned.
Why is it with the High Court of Admiralty in London?
Because of the jurisdiction of the Admiralty law here, mortgages, and I'm in that field of land titles that are stuck here on the waterfront, the leased lands, the Maori lands, the Crown lands, the general lands. I do all of that, and all my profile is on Facebook. Everything's on Facebook. The affidavits, the documents, everything, the fraud, the named fraudster, they have not responded to any of the affidavits since 2009 when they transferred the property. So there are about 11 people in the fraud. Graham Aylett is a UK private detective, Sergeant X, and now he's got his private investigation company that Tony Gelder knows everything about it. So he's my partner in business.
Yeah, no, something's been going since 2009 and you're already dealing with Tony Geldenhoff about it. I just wonder whether it's worthwhile you seeing me.
Yeah, well, it's a fraud case, so he couldn't handle a fraud case. He's only there because of...
Okay, so when you said he knows all about it, so you've spoken to him?
Yeah, he's back on the 20th, but I have to get on with because I'm going to seize the place. Because it's gone past its date of refutal. And it's in the lawyers, it's in the criminal lawyer here, or my lawyer, it's in the QC from here to London's QC in a higher jurisdiction. So I've got a higher jurisdiction going on here. And oaths of office and all those things. I'm doing law and on an equal footing with the judge. So I'm adjudicating a case, a private investigation case on Facebook, which is admissible in the courts here in UK now. Now I'm running that because there's 1 billion people watching me.
How many?
1 billion people on Facebook.
1 billion people on Facebook?
Yeah, so out of that lot, they've seen these documents all the way through from 2009 and earlier, but I'm just particularly dealing with a commercial lien contract with one man at a time. So I wanted to explain to you so that at least you're a fraud guy, you go and arrest people.
But I wouldn't be arresting anybody based on anything on Facebook.
No, I don't mean that. I mean that's disclosed. Everything I'm doing is disclosed to the public. And it's well known, what the government knows that. But what's happened here is there's a number of things. I'm the legal advocate for the Maori Confederation at Waitangi. I'm the big decider for the Confederation going to the UN. So I do a lot of legal work, and I've been doing that for a long time, and real estate. I'm in real estate as well. So the land titles on the waterfront where I live here, I'm investigating the titles, and this is one of the titles that has slipped through the net with the title is a bad title, and I'm showing everybody where the mistake is. That's what happened. So if anybody gets tied up in the contract I'm in, they'll get hooked into it. Yeah, so, if they ran you up...
So it doesn't sound like... I'm just trying to... So who did you say committed fraud?
Doug Rickard Bell, well known. Doug Rickard Bell constructed the title on the land block there in 61 Cook Street. That's the old council buildings. And there was a little council road going through there. So I've got all the documents. I put a caveat in there, and the land information forged the documents to change the title of the investors, 11 investors, including our interest, and between the land surveyor general who came over from Australia, a retired guy, he's now the head of the survey in Lynch. Right? Now, he forged an old road that was going through their Crown Road. These are Crown titles. They're British ones. They're not Maori titles. They're British. I'm dealing with the Confederation titles straight to Britain, right over the top of the government here. And they can't adjudicate. That's why your boss, Peter Marshall, can't do anything about it, or the Navy, or the military, because of this reason, that the British still got a contract with Maoris. And I'm leading that on what's happening with the land. My only concern is showing up the fraud. Now, Graham Naylor, he is my business associate working with me on fraud titles. And he's going to take this up. All I had to do is instruct him to go and pick the guy up. And he'll do his business. But what I'm doing here is I'm showing you before that happens. The police, so that there won't be any confusion or, unnecessary time wasted when we've done the work. That's, 3-4 years' work in getting the facts right for court hearing. If I went to the court, they'll get slammed into prison straight off. But the Crown gets the booty. You see, I'm holding the booty back to the Crown in England, not the Crown over here. The Crown in Wellington is not the Crown in England. So but the police are there. If you swear your oath to the Queen, she's in trouble with us and with a few other people, the indigenous people, in the World Court. I'm going to the United Nations, taking a delegation up there probably 2 weeks' time, and then straight across to Westminster. I can walk straight into Westminster myself and go and talk to them on that level. So I'm just saying the police are doing their job to seek out fraud. We're doing a lot of work. We know where the fraud is, so we spend all the time looking for the people and making sure it all adds up. It just saves police time. If you went to do it, you'd prosecute. Well, I'm doing the prosecution without going to court because the court hasn't got the jurisdiction from Britain because they cut themselves off from Britain. And this country now is a federal state of Australia, which is a federal state of the United States now. It's different. It's not the same Crown.
Tell you what, John. You're talking about a whole lot of stuff that doesn't sound like it's got anything to do with me. You send me an email telling me what your views are and what your alleged complaint is, and I'll work out whether we need to meet after that.
Oh, okay. So
I'll give you my email address.
Yeah, okay. That's fine. Yeah, what? Double A.
R-O-N.
R-O-N.
Dot Pascoe. P-A-S-C-O-E.
P-A-S-C-O-E.
Yep. At police. Dot G-O-V-T.
Dot G-O-V-T. Yeah, no, I'd rather do things right. I'll
Dot NZ.
Dot NZ. I'd rather do things right there to have embarrassing for nothing or wasting police time.
Yeah, well, no, I don't want to waste any police time either. That's real.
Yeah, so that's what I'll do. So you're a detective sergeant, hey?
No, detective senior sergeant.
Oh, detective senior sergeant, because I was directed to you.
Yeah.
And you're the best man while the others were away. But it's still a matter of police anyway. So that's very good. I'm glad I talked to you, and then now I'll send you something so you can see what's happening there. But I'm just about to go and serve them notice in there. on the property.
So you're going to go and serve some people notice in Cook Street?
Yeah, in Cook Street. The tenants there, because I'm taking over the title. The Lynn's office, I'm waiting for them. They've been served as well, where the fraud is, the Land Register General, and everybody involved in converting that little road. It was a crown road going through the middle. What they did was this.
No, I tell you what, you send me it in an email.
Yeah.
And I suggest you don't go and serve any papers on anybody in Cook Street unless they're signed by a New Zealand court.
No, I'm not going through. The court has no jurisdiction over the British court. That I'm a confederation.
Yeah, I get that.
Yeah. So.
I'm not about to assist you in serving any papers.
No, I don't need assistance for serving it. I want to tell you what I'm going to do.
Yeah. I mean, I'm just saying that based on what you said, the fact that you've told me doesn't make it right. Yeah, I know, but I'm just saying that if anything, because of the Admiralty law, this is serious stuff. You send it to me in an email and I'll look at it.
Okay.
Okay, thanks.
All right, bye.
Bye-bye.
Ooh, that's on record. Okay. Right. What's just happened is that the police, now I've got it from the senior detective, that he suggests I don't go and serve these papers on these tenants on Cook Street. Now, I'm going to write to him to see who he swears his oath to. I'm going to get real dirty from here on because of what he just said. That for me not to go and serve these papers. Right, I'm going to write that down on the record that what he said, don't go and serve them. It means he would be assisting the fraud. When I write to him, I put him on notice that he's assisting the fraud by not letting me do what I want to do on my jurisdiction. Okay, so this is how it looks. It changes a lot of things. John Wanoa, it's 6th of January today, 2014, Monday. So that was Detective Sergeant Aaron Pascoe. He's the big chief there. Was recommended to him from Andrew Saunders because Tony Geldenhuis is away on a holiday with Dennis Culverwell. And so I just have to make sure before I do anything that it's not going to be embarrassing because of what the police will do if I go on that property. He just told me, don't go on the property and serve notice until it goes to court. That's what he just said. Okay, so I'm going to hold him to it. I'm going to hold Aaron to what he just said. And then I'm going to ask him what and who is he swearing his oath to. I'm going to have him on notice. Okay? He'll be on notice, served notice, 7 days to refute what I say. If he can't, he's hooked into the contract, into that contract. Everyone who stops me from going on through that section and seizing it, he's just admitted to me not to go there. He's actually told me, don't go there. Okay? So that's all I wanted to say today, John Wanoa. And we'll leave that on record. And so I'll carry on with things, accounts. Okay? Bye for now. I'll say that. And
well, that was the recording for what happened there at, over the phone with the police. Okay, so that just puts another arrow in the system here that's being dismantled at the moment. So very serious things are happening. We're going to push the law as far as it can go to see where they are standing in front of us in Britain. Okay, thank you very much for listening, and I'll put it on Facebook now. And bye for now. Have a nice day.